Hi, and welcome. I am so excited that you're here to spend a few minutes with me. I'm really happy that you're here, whether this is your first time to the channel or you've been here lots of times before. Welcome. I'm really happy, like I said, that you're here. My name is Julia, and I'm with Julia Sue Stamping, just in case you happen to be stumbling upon this video. Thought I would make sure that you know who I am. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so everything I use is Stampin' Up! One of the reasons why I just love Stampin' Up! Stuff is everything coordinates, everything goes together. I don't have to worry about things matching with the color, the cardstock, the designer paper, which is DSP, Designer Series paper, also known as patterned paper, coordinates with the cardstocks, and it's just a dream. It's like magic. So that's one of the reasons why I am such a huge fan of Stampin' Up! And I have been for like 20 some years. It's been a long time. I have been a huge fan of Stampin' Up! Because of the coordination. That's 100% the biggest reason. I love how everything matches and goes together. And Stampin' Up! Is having a buy one get one sale on suites right now, which is a whole bundle of stuff that all goes together. So if you get one big suite and you like another one, then you will get the other one at half off. The less expensive one is the one that is half off. Or if you get a little thing from one suite and something from another, you can mix and match stuff. It's not a problem, and the less expensive item will be half off in your cart. So it's up to you, however you like to shop, whatever it is that you like to do, it's up to you. And I also am a team leader. I have several people who are my downline. That's what it's called in Stampin' Up! Some of them really just want to be hobby demonstrators, which is super cool. They are never going to have a class, and that's okay. You can do this business however you want. I love doing videos and hanging out with you and seeing what kind of stuff you like to create. It's one of my favorite things to do, is just to see what you're up to have some fun with you, and to communicate back and forth, whatever type of social media it is. And so that's how I run my business, but everybody does it differently. I have some people who are just thinking about having classes, and that's pretty cool. So you can do whatever you want, either it's hobby or do more of a business. So that's the cool thing. Another cool thing that I really love about Stampin' Up! All right, I think I have covered the bases of all those things, waiting for people to hop on to the live. And I think we should go ahead and get started on the project. How about you? I know people like videos the best because they're able to just hop right into a project and get it going. And that's what I want to do for you too. So I will have, as soon as the blog post is ready, when this video is done and I link everything together, I will have the link to the blog post listed down in the description. And the blog post will have a free PDF for you to download with all the details of this class. So there will be photos, there will be measurements, there will be supply lists, everything you need. It's got a card layout, everything you need to recreate these on your own anytime you want. So I hope you check it out. It's Julia Sue Stamping. That's what all my stuff is, whether it's social media or my blog or whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn the camera down to the work surface. And this is the card that I'm going to be doing this evening with you. The card says, I appreciate you, and I really mean that too. I appreciate you for being here and for crafting along with me. And remember, go grab that free PDF for you to download, and complete instructions are all listed on it with this layout. Head over to the blog for that download, and as soon as it's ready, like I said, the blog post will be listed in the description. And you can always find it under Julia Sue Stamping. It's part of my website. So this is what you're going to need to make this specific card. I've got the stamp set of Impressions Abloom. The ink that I'm using today is a Strawberry Slush. I'm using the embellishments of Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink Gems. And I'm also using the Pressed Flowers embossing folder. My adhesives are some glue, some dimensionals. I use my cut and emboss machine, and because I did the embossing here, so I used the cut and emboss machine. Of course, I use some paper snips to snip out things and make the banner. The Take Your Pick tool for putting the jewels on. A bone folder for making my paper nice and crisp as I folded it on the score line. And like I said, the paper trimmer to cut everything to begin with. All right, so here are the cards and stuff, all the supplies that are used. The cardstock here is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. I've got some of the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper, 2 pieces that are cut to be 4 1/4 by 1, and 2 pieces that are 1 inch by 3. I also have a little bit of the Strawberry Slush cardstock, 1 piece to go inside, and then the other piece for decorating the front. I've got a piece of basic white to go inside, a little scrap that I found for my sentiment, and then this piece that I ended up embossing. Remember, I've got all the measurements listed on the blog, so don't worry about it if I don't get to them here. All right, so here is the base of the card. Starting by taking a thick basic white is what I did, or you would take any color or the cardstock that you want to make your base. Folded it in half because it was scored at 4 1/4, and use that bone folder to make it a nice crisp fold. And then I'm going to put it into a landscape position, which is this way. And now I'm going to take the Designer Series paper, and I'm going to do a dry run with it so you can see how I want to end up having it go. I'm going to have the 1 piece go up there. I've got another piece, and this is a very tight thing with the Designer Series paper, so that's why I like to do a dry run with this first, because if I want to make any changes, I'll make it now. And then I've got this piece here like that. So that's how I'm going to have them go, and you can see that is very tight. There's not a lot of room between them, is there? And then I'm going to put this Strawberry Slush piece right in the middle. Now, because it is so tight, I want to use the liquid glue to help me get all these pieces on. And the reason I'm going to do that is the liquid glue allows me just a few minutes of time, or seconds, whatever, to move the paper, just in case I don't put it where I want it exactly. So it just gives me a brief moment to move it. And now I'm going to adhere this piece of the Designer Series paper, or known as patterned paper, and putting that on the top right here. So you can see the outside edges of all this designer paper matches. It all kind of lines up. So there we go. Now I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to get that liquid glue out. There we go. All right. Placing this piece down here. And there, I'm pretty happy with that. It lines up pretty well. It just gives me that second or two to be able to move it. And now for the last piece of the Designer Series paper that is going to go on this part right here. And all of the edges of the Designer Series paper have lined up pretty much. See how it's all lined up there and down this side. So that's the layout. Now you can make the card this way if you want to make a portrait. You could just cut your Designer Series paper so it laid that way. I knew I was going to do landscape, so I made mine lay this way. But this card layout could go either way. either way as much as you want. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this down too using the glue because, again, like I said, it is a pretty tight fit. And it's going to give me just a moment or two to move everything. So Milo is hanging out with me down here tonight in the basement, which is my stamping area. I have pretty much the whole basement, so I'm pretty lucky. Now I ran this piece through the embossing folder, which is the pressed flowers embossing folder. It's absolutely gorgeous. Can you see that? Can you see the pattern that's in there? I just love how it's so pretty. It's got a nice blank area up here. So that's what I wanted to have. I wanted to have a little bit of a blank area. So I embossed that little sheet of, let's see, it's 3 by 1 3/4, I believe. And I wanted part of it to be blank. So I'm going to go ahead then and put some liquid glue behind that so that it goes right on top of that strawberry slush piece there in the middle. All right, there. All right, and that is very nice. So we're going to go ahead now and do the sentiment. I have the sentiment, I appreciate you, all mounted and ready to go, and I've found this little piece of scrap paper. Let's see, I'm searching for the strawberry slush ink pads. I opened that up and then inking up the stamp, pressing it down, and I'm going to go a little bit to the left here so that I can do a banner cut on the right side. That turned out very well. All right, grabbing the paper snips, I'm going to do a little banner cut up here in the center-ish as much as I can, where I can see it, and get that in there. So here in Ohio this evening, it is storming, at least where I live in Ohio. It's storming a lot, and Milo is not a fan of storms. Does anyone else have a dog that does not like storms? So he came down to the basement with me. Usually he's hanging out like up in his room. We have an entire room that's basically his, and he's got lots of toys and stuff in there. So he would normally be in his room, but nope, he's hanging out with me. I'm going to put a few dimensionals behind this sentiment, and then I'm going to pop it right on top of this card. I'm going to have it go a little over the designer series paper, and it's on that kind of blank area that I made sure I kept. So that's very pretty. I like that. And now I'm going to do the inside. So I've got that other piece of strawberry slush, and I generally do a 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 piece for the inside to mat a piece of white. And this is pretty much what I do with most of my cards. Sometimes I'll put designer series paper on, but a lot of the times this is my go-to, so I have lots and lots of room for writing a message. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere the white to the strawberry slush piece and just try to center it, and then I'm going to put this matted piece on the inside of the card so that it's all set to go. Beautiful, nice. All right, so the finishing touch, grabbing my take your pick tool, and those gems, these strawberry slush and pretty in pink gems, to put them onto the card. So let's see, I think I'm going to go ahead and use some that are kind of darker, and it really makes a difference to do a triangular type of pattern when you do your gems, because that triangular pattern is very pleasing to the eye, and it will help people pay more attention to the sentiment, and there we go. So there is the card that is all complete. I have them just those gems around the sentiment there. And remember, for this type of card, because everything is so close, the liquid glue is your best friend here. It's going to give you a second or two to shift your pieces into absolutely perfect alignment. And this layout is super flexible. You can try it with different stamp sets and colors for a whole new look. This is a design that is really great for different kinds of occasions. It's super versatile. I've got two alternate versions to show you here where I use different stamp sets and papers so you can see how easily this layout transforms. Here I've got where I use the Silly Safari stamp set, and I use Full of Life Designer Series paper as well as the Dotted Circles embossing folder. How cute is this? Happy birthday for a party animal. And inside, got blueberry bushel surrounding the white. So really fun card. And I also have this one using the Choose Happy card stamp set, the Florals in Bloom Designer Series paper, and the So Swirly embossing folder. I use the In Color flat pearls, the ones that are current, for the embellishments. And again, I did a triangular pattern all around the sentiment to help draw the eye to the sentiment. And interesting colors, aren't they? I did this for a challenge, and those are the colors of the challenge. This one too, this is also all the colors that are in an online challenge. I love to do challenges. It gives you great ideas on colors and layouts. And so I already knew the layout, so I did two different challenges that had to do with color today. So you can see how versatile this is, right? How cool is that? It's really a great layout. And remember, I've got a downloadable PDF on my blog, so please be sure you check it out. And before we wrap up, I just want to be sure and say, if you don't already have a demonstrator, I would love to be your crafting cheerleader. So whether you're brand new or you've been stamping for years and years, I'm here to support you. I will be here to support you however I can. So I would love to help you out in any way that I can. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I would love to answer any of your questions that you have. I really do look at all of the comments. And as soon as YouTube lets me know that you commented, I respond. So I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure you give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Like I said, I read every single one of them, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. All these things are free and make an absolutely huge difference to my small business. So that way I can keep on creating fun and creative content for you. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I've got a blog. Just search for Julia Sue Stamping. That's what everything is under. So you'll find me. Most of all, I hope that you get inky. Have some fun. Enjoy being creative. And please share what you create. Send it out into the world. Let someone see the great card that you made. Let it give them a smile. If you decide to post it online, I'd love to see, tag me. If you make this layout, I would really love to see it. So tag me, and it just makes my day. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world is to see that you've used the layout. And I have a lot of people who tag me for different things, and it's so awesome to see what you have created. So I hope that you share it, and I can't wait to see it. So thanks again for joining me here today with the Paper Party Live. Until next time, stay crafty, stay kind, and keep sharing your handmade joy. Bye.